Okay, doctor, we are live. Just wait for 2 minutes and you can start. Yes, doctor, you can start now.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Here's Muayyad Al-Okili. Let me first start by sharing my slides. I have actually two sets of slides. So the first one,
Yes, share screen is very clear.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, doctor, it's very clear.
Okay, so I'm trying to minimize this bar. It's annoying. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the hackathon session related to the AI. Here is my name is Muaid Al-Okili. I'm a professor with the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, and I am at the same time a professional engineer and senior member of IEEE. I'm so happy for this invitation, and I'll do my best in this presentation to guide you through the emerging of artificial intelligence and machine learning technology, and help you as much as I can to boost your knowledge of AI and your career path. So first, this will be the agenda of today's talk. First, I'll talk a little bit about myself, so you know my background and what exactly I'm doing in terms of research and development. Since we are all in United Arab Emirates, and at the same time, we have a newly established university, and it is the first university in the world specialized in AI, which is Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. So for whoever interested in this university and in continuing his professional studies, whether in master or PhD, I would like to talk a little bit about this university and what we are doing in the university, and encourage you whether to apply for the master and the PhD program in this university, or consider joining us because we have several openings at the university. And then I'll move again to the technical content of AI and the strategic AI in the United Arab Emirates, the advantages and the challenges of an AI. We will go through lots of scenarios, and at the end, I'll talk about careers and how you start your career in AI. So can you confirm that if the voice and the slides and everything seems okay to you guys? Guys, can you confirm that the voice and everything is everything? It's fine? That you are hearing me properly? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let me start first. So what you would like to start? Should we start with the technical content? Then we talk about Mohammed bin Zayed University, or you would like first to start with Mohammed bin Zayed University, then we go back and talk about the AI and the emerging of AI in United Arab Emirates? What would you like us to start first? I have an answer here. Okay. Okay, so let's start first with the AI part. So at the beginning, again, there's me, Muaid Al-Okili. I'm a research and development manager at Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, and I hold the position of a IEEE Computer Society and IEEE Young Professional Chair. I also have my own special interest group in blockchain and application with IEEE ComSec. I have a PhD from the University of Ottawa, Canada, and a master from Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. I worked in several universities prior to me joining Mohammed bin Zayed University, like Al Ain University, American University in Kuwait, and Qatar University. My research areas encompasses the different fields. So basically, all of my research relies on the application of artificial intelligence and machine learning, connected and autonomous vehicles, blockchain, of course, blockchain solution, and sustainable energy and data management. So here I have a video that I will, which was related to Mohammed bin Zayed University, but I will skip the video for now. Then I will come back to it later. Let me just go outside the video. And about Mohammed bin Zayed, I will do it again later on. And let me present from here. Okay, so the first question, guys, that anyone who asks at the same time, what is an AI? What is an artificial intelligence? And in the past 5-6 years, we have seen a huge interest in the market, whether industry or academia, or personal interest in the use of artificial intelligence and how we can incorporate or how we can integrate artificial intelligence into our day-to-day application or industry, and how artificial intelligence is promising in boosting performance and finding mistakes and predicting future events. So in order to understand what is an AI, first you have to understand the history of AI and why we have at the first place wanted to use an AI. So AI started it with the trying to break through what is the human intelligence. So from the beginning, people were trying to understand the intelligence of a human. And later on, they found that if you want to understand the human intelligence, so you cannot measure human intelligence by just trying to talk to the people or try to measure it by, gradient factors. So they thought at that time that if I need to measure human intelligence or break through its secrets, so I have to design a machine that can think and can react like a human. So a human intelligence was the main factor for the emerging of an AI. So in this regard, a human intelligence encompasses mainly 5 main factors: learning, reasoning, understanding of the language or the surrounding, perceiving, and feeling. So basically, as a human, if you think about it, any human being, which is either a baby or an adult or a senior, he is capable of learning, he's capable of reasoning, understanding a language, perceiving for an event, and expressing or conceiving of feeling. So learning is related to how we can learn a topic or a subject, how we can learn on the go, which is the capacity to learn from our experience. Reasoning, it is the idea how we can draw a rational inference from a conclusion. So for example, a conclusion has happened, and from that conclusion, I can relate it to how I reached that conclusion. Understanding a language, it is about the capacity of understanding the various spoken words. So for example, in the lexical analysis, or in the analyzing, for example, the tweets on Twitter, we're trying to understand the natural languages. So this is what we call understanding a language from its various spoken words. Perceiving, it is the capacity to attain awareness of understanding feeling. And the last one here is the feeling, which is the capacity to describe physical sensation. So now, human intelligence, if you want to understand a human intelligence, you have to go through the learning, the reasoning, understanding the language that the human being is speaking, perceiving that person feelings, and understanding his feelings. So, and if I can ask this question, how you can really quantify this? So there is no way that you can come up with an equation that can encompasses the learning, the reasoning, the perceiving, and the feeling, and you can break it into a number like it's 75% or 80%. It is impossible. That's why we moved into the idea of intelligence, how we can really design intelligence, or what's machine intelligence. Machine intelligence has different, or artificial intelligence has different characteristics. For example, artificial intelligence is the simulation of a human intelligence processed by machine, which can be expressed by the ability of a digital computer or a digital robot or a digital software to control or perform a task that's commonly associated with intelligent being, which is again the ability of a computer or a machine to mimic the problem solving and decision making. So artificial intelligence, you can look at it that you are replicating the human intelligence of doing a task from just being 0-1 into being more and interactive. So a machine thinks like a human. So in order for this machine to think like a human, we have to make sure that it goes through minimum those 5 processes. First, we have to discover the situation. The machine or the algorithm or the robot has minimum to go through those 5 steps in order to call it self-correction process for an artificial intelligence. First, we have to discover situation, learn patterns, predict decision-making, and act. And if you think about any example, like online shopping these days, when you go to Amazon or when you go to Noon and you're trying to do some shopping, in those platforms, they have some recommender system. The recommender system at the bottom, when you try to search for some item or you want to buy an item, so he will recommend to you to buy other items, or he will tell you that because of your general search technique, we are recommending you to buy those items. So how this happened? How the Amazon or Noon is capable, or their recommendation system. So it's based on an artificial intelligence algorithms. It's trying to discover your situation first, discover what is your interest, what are you searching for on the web or things. And when you search for something, what do you check? Do you check the reviews? Do you check the price? Do you check the delivery? And by doing this, you are doing this over and over. So the machine is capable of learning patterns of things that you have do it over and over. So at the beginning, you check the reviews, then you check the price. Some people, they check the price first, then they check the review. So he learned the pattern of your actions. Then he will predict, and this is very fundamental aspect of how AI works. AI, it's about not only about discovering and learning, but it's also about predicting a future event. So predicting that because you have done those actions, so the next following action for you, or the next prediction action for you, that if you bought this, that you should bought this, this, and that. And then it's a decision making. So some machine learning type is not only about discovering, learning, and predicting an event. It is also about making a decision. For example, in autonomous vehicle, if you think of autonomous vehicle, it's a self-drive vehicle, or the drones, or autonomous drones. Those are self-driven drone in the sky. So the car is a drive by itself on the road, and there is some situation that the car has to make a decision on its own. So whether to accelerate or deaccelerate, whether to maneuver another car to avoid doing the crashing, or to stop completely because of a red light. So machine learning also is capable to discover, learn, predict, and also make a decision. Then after it make a decision, it's capable of translate this decision into an action in the real life, which what we call act. So now, machine learning has the following 5 characteristics. Most of the time, it has to go through what we call the curve to discover, learn, predict, make a decision, and act. Or sometimes it's stopped into the prediction, then some human intervention has to be encompassed. Since, guys, we are living in UAE, I would like to mention that UAE, it's a very advanced country, and it is always, they are very keen into incorporating advanced and very futuristic technologies like artificial intelligence. So I was doing some research a little bit on the internet to see some facts about how UAE is trying to incorporate artificial intelligence into their cities, into their governments, into their systems. And I found very interesting facts. For example, UAE has set a clear vision through its AI strategy that to become the world leader in AI by 2031. So which is about like less than like 10 years from now, 9 years. UAE has an AI strategy, not a technology strategy, not a general advancement strategy. No, it is very specific and it's very focused on AI. And one of the things that they have done it recently, that they have a ministry of AI, and there is a minister of AI that who pushes the country vision towards AI. So now this is a clear evidence that AI is going to be in all aspects of our life here in UAE very soon. Another interesting fact that AI strategy, it has been aligned in the UAE with the Sentinel 2071. So this is an even a bigger vision of the country's leader, what we call Sentinel 2071, to make the UAE the best country in the world by 2071. And the last fact is the UAE attract the best talented from the globe to conduct their experimental AI solution in the UAE in different sectors. For example, I can shed a light on two examples here, which is the first AI university in the world, which is Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, which is specialized only on specialized and focused on research and degrees that target only AI solution. And the second one, the Technology Innovation Institute here in Abu Dhabi, which is a very new innovation institute that's doing an advanced research, and it has a cluster called AI for Telecom cluster. So we are very happy that we live in a country that adopts such immersive and such interesting technology all over the world. The next action item here, guys, is to also try to map the strategy of UAE of adopting artificial intelligence into the different sectors in the country. For example, the following 7 sectors are the most important sector of aligning the AI into their growth. So the first one is the transport or the intelligent transportation system, healthcare or connected and intelligent healthcare system, aerospace, cybersecurity, sustainable energy, education, and environment. And if you want me, I can talk forever on this because we can see every day how the health operation and the intelligent healthcare system is being like moving into a next level in the UAE. It's also we are witnessing a huge step up in terms of intelligent transportation system, whether in reducing accident, traffic jam, or draw an effective traffic policies around the UAE. So also in the aerospace engineering, we have set the Hope probe that we have been launched last year during the COVID era into the space. We also we see that the cybersecurity is a fundamental, is the backbone in all other artificial intelligence sectors like health, transport, and space, and we are using it imperatively in the UAE. Sustainable energy, we are witnessing so many initiatives like Masdar City, nuclear power, Tata. All of these companies or governmental agencies, they're focusing on adopting artificial intelligence into their system to boost the feasibility of sustainable energy in our system. Education and environment is also another 2 big sectors that is trying to incorporate artificial intelligence into their system as well. So I prepared here, guys, a video. I liked it, and I want to share it with you, which is related to UAE artificial intelligence catalyst around the UAE. Basically, it is how UAE AI strategy is being trying to align with the vision of 2031. So it's not a long video; it's just 1 minute 21 seconds. So let's please listen to it together, then we can discuss it further. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening to this short video. And from this video, we can conclude that AI is being adopted in several levels here in the UAE. It's being used to increase the strategic technological advancement in the UAE, to reduce costs, to improve operations, to create more jobs, and so on, so forth. So now I would like to move away a little bit from the advancement of the artificial intelligence in United Arab Emirates and talk more about the AI itself. So AI, guys, if you want to understand AI, first you have to understand the main specialized AI components, which is in this regard, we can summarize it into 3 or 4 components. So the first one, which what we call machine learning. The second one, which what we call NLP or natural language processing. Then we have the third and the fourth, which is some people, they categorize it under what we call computer vision. And some people, they break it into more 2 specialized subcategories, one called automation and robotics, the second one called machine vision. So the machine learning, that's basically the algorithm that where you teach the machine to improve from an experience automatically. So basically machine learning is an algorithmics that works on some data to improve or extract some insight from this data to improve the operation of this data. So natural language processing mainly works on the interaction between the computer and the human language, which is a language like Arabic language, Arabic script, English script. So whatever any kind of script or like text processing. So the best AI component to use for this is the natural language processing or NLP. The next one is the automation and robotics, and we have witnessed lately that a lot of interest in universities and agencies about robotics, and we are seeing a lot of interest in the Internet of Robotics and the UAVs and the drones and the autonomous vehicles, and those all can be considered under the category of robotics. So the robotics, they have one important feature, which we call automation or autonomous system. Automation, how we can reach to an automation if we don't have an AI? So basically AI has to be incorporated with the robotics to make it automated, to make it capable of making a decision automatically. And the last one is what we call the machine vision, which is the possibility of capturing and analyzing visual information to extract visual insights. So for example, when you are driving on Sheikh Zayed Road and you are speeding and you go beyond the speed limit, so you will receive a ticket. So have you asked yourself how you are being detected that you are going beyond the speed limit? Though this is basically what we call computer vision or machine learning, where basically there is a model that the model is capable of measuring your speed over a simple distance and reporting that you are by this fraction going beyond the speed limit and file a ticket against you. So this is what we call machine vision or computer vision. Next, I would like to talk about two types of AIs here. And this type is very important to understand that how AI, enforce the machine into what is the relationship between the data or the size of the data with the AI. So we have a weak AI and we have a strong AI. The weak AI, sometimes we call it also narrow AI or ANA, artificial narrow intelligence. So basically the weak AI, it enables very robust application on a small set of data. So if the data or the resources around this machinery is not big data, so in this case, you can use very thin or weak AI techniques against this data. However, if your data set or data size is immersive, huge, big, and you want an AI machine that's capable to understand, process, and advance the insight from this data, so you need to use more what we call artificial general intelligence or artificial super intelligence, where it allows the machine to acquire high level of intelligence equal to humans, and more resources need to be invested in this AI. So weak AI also compared versus to the strong AI, they have one also unique characteristic that you cannot, for example, employ strong AI on terminal devices, for example, the IoT devices, because they don't have the resources and the capability to process this huge size of AI technique. So moving into the advantages of AI, AI, they are improving our life, they are improving our technologies, they are improving our operation in so many ways. So for example, it's more convenient for our lifestyle to have AI. For example, it enhances all the services that is being provided for us 24/7. So for example, by creating safer roads and creating more exciting avenues for entertainment, less stress on a human being, automated the operation or the services to move it into faster and with less mistake. It's to create more job efficiency. So machine perform detail-oriented tasks, autonomous performance, less errors, Another advantage of AI, for example, it's to provide more or better healthcare system. So, for example, it can create telemedicine and faster solution for health issues, better availability for medical application, prediction and enabling faster response to disaster, and better management of hazard situation. Other also advantages that we can shed some light on it here. It is that the AI is also capable to improve the operation of the industry 5.0 and 4.0. It is capable of improving the safety in the construction field, transformation financial sector and banking system, and deducting, for example, fraud, and so many advantages that if I want to go on, I cannot stop. So let's agree now that what is AI? What are the type of the AI? AI is very important in our life, and AI will revolutionize our life or our technology or our day-to-day task into a new era that it is more interesting and more viable. At the same time, there is a fact that whenever there is a new technology that is emerging, and there is also challenges that emerge with this technology. So, for example, the obvious challenges that emerge with the AI or with the use of AI or integrate AI with our other technology or in our day-to-day life, it is the concept of trust. So people, they are still reluctant to trust AI and develop AI model and integrate it with their system because they don't know how the machine sometimes take the decision and how the machine can react in some scenarios. So there is still a resist in terms of trusting this technology. There is another problem is the safety. So some people, they still have concern about the AI doing some harmful to humankind by doing wrongful decision-making on the go. Another issue is the data storage and computation, because when you want to analyze homogeneous amount of data that required an immense amount of computational power, so and storage capability. So this is still a big challenge on AI when it comes to it. And the last one is the cybersecurity, where the adversarial AI is come to a play where people manipulate the type of the data so the AI can take wrongful decision, or an AI affecting the safety of the system and the trust level. So this is still a big challenge in terms of the machines or the AI model can by itself hacked or manipulated. And there is still lots of work on this regard. I wanted also to talk here, guys, about the most type of application, AI application that is being used in smart city or our smart life. So the first one, digital assistant, where I wanted to start with this, where everyone is using it: gaming, shopping, transportation, healthcare and emergency services, robotics, and education. So now, we can see that AI is being integrated in most of our digital assistants. So it is in your phone, whether it's using with Siri, Apple, Alexa, Google Assistant, or even if you have an account with Emirates MBDB or FAB, where they have their own intelligent digital assistant like Ava, and so on and so forth. So AI in this regard can meet user service needs, and it can provide quick answers and a quick links or a quick info about things that usually takes hours to search over the internet or wait on the phone for for longer time to speak to a representative that it might help or it might not. On the contrary, those automated applications offered a rich experience when it comes to digital assistance. The second application is what we call AI-based gaming, and you can see, and this is one of the applications that I was interested working on it when I was in Kuwait, that how we can create a machine that can think and play chess, not only to know how to make the move, but it's also to connect it to an robotic system that can take the move itself that the machine is doing. So this is just one practical example how you can look into the automation of a robotics arm that is playing a game using an artificial intelligent algorithm. So, and this is really very interesting. So, and we can see also that AI-powered game analytics facilitate to the game experience. So there is a lot of games these days, they are using the AI solution into their back-end system to facilitate the use of the game. For example, the way that they are designing, for example, the football games, FIFA games these days, it relies a lot on AI algorithms. So the next slide is about the shopping. And this is really a huge topic, an interesting topic, because these days, shopping big player like Amazon, like Alibaba, like eBay, they are transforming their entire system from being one-to-one direction, just algorithm-based system, into an AI web-based system. So now the whole shopping experience now is not relying on that I want to buy 1, 2, 3, pay, deliver. No. Now the new system is all about I want to buy 1, 2, 3, and you have to convince the shopper that he can also be interested in 4, 5, and 6. And if he make the right decision, you can enforce that if he buy 4, 5, 6, he can buy 7 and 8, 10, and so on and so forth. So AI-based shopping, it is being heavily rely on what we call the recommender system. Recommender system, where you want to build a system that not only that you want the user to wait until he select what he want to buy, but you will also recommend to him what he needs to buy at certain capacity. The next application, it is the transportation aspect. And if you want to look at for example, the self-driving vehicle or the self-driving drones, or any of the transportation system or connected vehicle that we see it and we hear about it these days, and if you even ever visited Masdar City here in Abu Dhabi, and you get a chance to ride in the self-drive vehicle, so you will see how this is amazing. So there's two aspects here in the intelligent transportation system. There is the automated car and there is the self-drive car. So the self-drive car, it's 100% level 5 self-drive car that can drive from a point A to point B autonomously without any human intervention. And it is mainly rely on the intelligent algorithms that embed inside the car to enable the car to make a decision making. The second one is the automated car, which is what we have seen these days in the market, where it's a car that is not 100% self-drive car, but it has some intelligent features that automated to some extent, such self-parking, cross control, fatigue detection, and so on and so forth. So I have also this video, which can show to you guys. Okay, just a second. Let's see it properly, please. So for example, so you can see that the car driving on the road is continuously sensing that around it, analyzing the scenes that can happen, and act when it is the right time to take a detour. So again, if we look into the scene, so it's continuously sensing. If you want to make a lane change, it's analyzed that this can lead maybe to an accident. So it takes a decision that it is not right at that time, and it can act to take a further step at a later point. Another big also use of an AI, it's in the healthcare and emergency services. So, and here, whether it's like patient-centric, where you rely on AI to analyze the data of the patient, or the health operation itself, where you want to design an AI who can go further, perform medicine, or improve like the nanosensors, who the doctor is using it to improve the health operation. So the AI help in faster diagnosis using patient health information. It provides assistance for clinical decision. Robots can also be used to repetitive jobs in surgery, and sometimes, and in some instances, AI can provide efficient and faster solution on the go. The last one I think that we want to talk about it is the robotics arms, or the robotics intelligence system, where a robot can use in various sectors to automate a task and provide better efficiency. So in industry, autonomous, fast, extremely precise operation. So for example, in the next slide, we can see that there is a robot who is capable to automate the whole process of preparing a coffee for you in the morning. So robots are used to serve coffee these days, or in new trends like AI-based cafes and restaurants. So now You don't need a barista, or you don't need someone who can serve you in the restaurant and make your coffee. It just, the machine is there. You go, you push a few buttons, or you speak to the machine, and the machine will prepare your coffee. And there will be another robot who can take this order and deliver it to your place. AI also based the localization or the education. And as we have seen that post-COVID has changed the way that we perceive into education. So before COVID, the education was just traditional by being conducted in a classroom. And after COVID, we can see how the education system has witnesses a huge transition into the next level. So now we can see that AI helps in creating a personalized learning experience in education system. So now education system, we can see because of Zoom and Teams and all of this application, it is one-to-one and it is boring and it's not interesting. So AI here, it can help into moving this into being more interactive, where even still you are not in the same classroom and you can see the teacher and the teacher can be student, but at the same time, it can be interactive in a 3D environment using virtual environment and augmented environment in an interacting way. So also application of the tutoring using artificial intelligence. So there is still a question, and the question level of being hard or easy or medium can be adjusted according to the answers of the students. The next item is actually the job career or the career in AI, guys. So career in AI in United Arab Emirates is really very unique, and it is very important. And before I go into that, I would like to talk, if you're planning a career in AI, so you have two paths. Either you want to finish your master and PhD after your, of course, bachelor, and go for an R&D job, or you want to directly go for what we call AI engineer in an industry directly. So whether you are a computer scientist or engineer or an IT person or a mathematician or a statistician or finance or economics, rest assured that AI is coming into your field, whether you like it or not. And I have worked in this region, and I worked in North America, and I can see, and I'm confident that most of the university has been asked to incorporate the AI module into their syllabi already. So one must be a proficient in when you go into AI career. It is the problem solving, analytical skill, creative thinking, effective communication, and knowledge in other areas. That's which we will talk about it right now. So career in AI, academic career, again, which is related to institutional and universities and continuing your PhD and master degrees. Professional career is about going directly into the task force in the industry where you want to create application and develops on the go. So like developing a new product and application, opportunities that include consultancy and so on. So there is a roadmap. If you want, for example, to become an AI expert, okay, you want to become an AI expert, so you have to go on this path. So the path that first you have to acquire the fundamentals, and you have to choose your path. Either you can go into the path of being a machine learning expert, an AI expert, or you can go into the path of being a big data engineer. These days, I see a lot of CVs, guys, where people just focus on big data, on data engineering, data science. So when I read the CV, I cannot tell what is this person, what is the specialty of this person. Are you a data scientist? Are you a big data engineer? Are you a big data architect? So you cannot know everything. So you need to know what is your interest, and you need to select the right track for you to become an AI expert. So first you need to have the fundamentals, which I'm going to talk about it very soon. Then you have to select, if you want to be a big data engineer, so you need to have a data engineer expert level, then you can become a big data engineer, or then an AI big data engineer, and big data architect, and big data analytics, and so on. But you cannot be a big data and at the same time data scientist. And the other side, and most of the people, how they start, they acquire the fundamental of machine learning, then, and the path of the AI expert, then they study the data scientist basics, then they learn more about machine learning, then they go into the topic of deep learning and so on. For example, for me, I stopped right there, machine learning, because all the research that I do and conduct is barely using deep learning. So again, remember here that you cannot do everything. You have to be realistic, and you need to know how to identify yourself in the market. So the fundamentals that you should always acquire. So you have to have a strong knowledge in linear algebra. Have to have a background in databases and tabular data, data frames and data format, regular expression, Python basics. Python is must when you want to learn data science and machine learning. And you have to know the different Python libraries like Matplotlib, Conda, Anaconda, and some virtual environment. And you need some notebook like Jupyter or Keras or Colab to, import your information. Now, after you learn the fundamentals, you need to know other more advanced fundamentals for the data science. For example, you need to know what is the different data sources, whether you are doing mining, scrubbing. You need to know how to deal with data sets. For example, how you can extract data sets from Kaggle or UCI, how you can do normalization on these data sets, feature extracting, sampling, and so on. Next, now when you want to become a data scientist, you need to acquire knowledge in this. First, you need to have the basic knowledge about statistics. Statistic about what is the regression, what is the mean value, what is the averaging, and so on and so forth. Then you have to know the basics of the probability theory, because again, AI and data science, it's all about probability, how you can find an outcome, a future outcome based on some historical event. It's all probability. Estimation theory, and after you know those, you need to have a strong knowledge in visualization. So because data science is about visualizing an outcome from a historical data set. Visualization, for example, like some tool like Pi from Microsoft, Python, web service, or any other. The AI roadmap also, after you finish the fundamental, after you finish the data scientist, you want to learn more about machine learning. Machine learning here is two parts. You have general machine learning, and you have what we call methods machine learning. The first one is the machine learning. You need to understand the concept, the input, the attributes of the machine learning. What do we mean by machine learning? What is the different concept and inputs and attributes to machine learning? Then you need to learn more about the cost function, the gradient descendant, the concept of overfitting and underfitting. What do we mean by training, validating, testing? What do we mean by precision versus recall? And what do we mean by machine learning bias versus variance? After you learn this, you will move into now the methods of machine learning, whether you are using supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, simple, reinforcement learning, federated learning. Then you need to apply some use cases and some tools. Thank you, guys. This is the first part, which is related to machine learning. I tried my best to be at the abstract level without going into the too many technical details. But if you want more technical details, I am more than happy to provide this in the future. Now, going back, I want to talk a little bit, please, about the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. So first, let's please watch this video, and then we can talk more about it. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for watching the video, which is about Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence here in Masdar City, Abu Dhabi. So let me take you to another presentation, please, regarding the Let me share the second presentation, please, with you guys. Okay, can you see my presentation? Can you see my presentation, guys? Guys, can you see my presentation, please? Abdullah, Muhammad. Yes, thank you very much, guys. So, okay, guys. So again, MBZ UAI University, it's a new established and focused university only on AI. First, MBZY is offered two programs, master program and PhD program. And we have three specialized master program in computer vision, machine learning, and natural language processing or NLP. And the same thing in the case of the PhD program, we have three PhD program, computer vision, machine learning, and NLP. The university for the master program, if any of you or your family members or your colleagues who are looking into doing his master or PhD, I encourage them to explore the programs offered by this university. It is very well known and accredited university in the region, and it has been recently accredited the most, it has been already ranked this year in one of the most prestigious ranking system around the world. For the master program, you have to have a bachelor degree in STEAM fields such as computer science, electrical engineering, computer engineering, mathematics, and so on. You have to have an academic transcript and a cumulative GPA of 3.2 and above on a 4.0 scale. You have to have an English language validation certificate of a TOEFL 90 or an IELTS 6.5. And for the GRE, you have to have a general score for a GRE to increase the possibility of your application being accepted. You need two recommendation letter for this in this regard. For the PhD program, for the completed degree is the same thing. You need to have a master degree in a STEAM field from known university. You need an academic transcript of a 3.2 out of 4 scale in the bachelor and the master. You need an English language test, TOEFL or an IELTS 6.5 or a score of 90. And for the GRE, the general score is a plus and would be considered in the evaluation of the application, and a 3 recommendation letter. So as you can see, the application for the master and the PhD is pretty straightforward, and it can be done quickly. So now, for the PhD program with bachelor, if you want to go directly from bachelor to PhD, the university is open-minded and is allowing this option. So you need to have the STEAM field at the beginning, 3.5 in your bachelor degree of a scale 4.0. In the language, you have to have a 6.5 or 90. And for the graduate record examination, GRE, a valid GRE record examination for the general test certificate with a following, the minimum is mandatory, 150 in the verbal, 150 in the quantitative, 3.0 in the analytics, and a 3 recommendation letter. So the deadline for applying, guys, for the master and PhD program, Hamad bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, is April 30th. So you still have time, and you can find more details at the following link. Now, a lot of people, they ask this question: why should I study in this university? Why I shouldn't go to another university? Let me tell you some facts about MBZ UAI University. First, this is the first or the world's first AI university specialized in research at the graduate level. The board of trustees include world-renowned AI experts. So we have all experts from all over the world and from well-known universities like UC Berkeley, CMU's, Shingen University, Toronto University, McGill University, and so on and so forth. It's a world-class faculty members with a professional experience in AI. This university is fully funded by the UAE government, and all the admitted students are covered with full scholarship. So you don't have to pay any tuition fees. 100% tuition fees is exempted with health insurance, campus accommodation, monthly stipend, plus to other benefits. The campus is furnished with top-of-the-line GPU facilities and have access to nearly 1,000 NVIDIA DGX capability. The student will be benefited from our close institutional connection with companies in the UAE and abroad. So you can see that the student of MBZY in the past 2 years have managed to compete in local and international competition like GITEX, like ADEFSA, G42, other conferences, and they managed to score first places and second places successfully. Now, what are the benefits? So first of all, the benefits for anyone who has admitted to the university, whether at the master level or the PhD, is 100% tuition fees exemption, generous monthly stipend, which is $2,100 for the master student, dollar to $2,500 for the PhD student. Of course, this is in dollar, a plus for a campus accommodation and a comprehensive health insurance and annual round-trip flight to and from Abu Dhabi, and no postgraduate funds. If you are interested, guys, or you know someone who's interested to apply for the university, so the university has already started receiving application for the fall 2022 from 1st of September until the 30th of April. So you can scan the following QR code to get into the admission page. Now, if you're not interested to do master or PhD because you have a knowledge in master or PhD, I would like also to tell you more about some working opportunities in the university. So we have several openings and application for postdoctoral fellowship for people who has a PhD holders. We have also several research associate and research assistant position available for people who is interested to pursue or do research on AI. And this is for the master and the undergraduate level. And we have several PhD and MA student opportunities. So the areas of interest for people who are interested to work with us, they have to have machine and deep learning knowledge, machine or deep learning knowledge, networking and communication, wireless communication, or cybersecurity. The skill required in this regard is a strong technical skill in machine learning and deep learning or deep learning. Application record is a plus, proof of advanced oral and written communication, excellent technical skill in Linux, Python, Matplotlib, Jupyter, notebooks, scikit-learn, pandas, numpys, Omnet, and S3 is a plus. And of course, you have to have an experience in working in a team and excellent organizational skill. We have several projects for people who is interested to know more about this project. We have a project related to the 6G and beyond 5G networks, modern energy system or sustainable energy system, intelligent healthcare system, and autonomous system like UAVs and AVs. Thank you guys for listening for this presentation. And I am more than happy to answer any of your questions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Let me again present. Okay, guys, any question? Guys, any question? If you have any question, I'll be more than happy to help to answer those questions. Just let me know, please. Okay, so Arwa Al-Majali is trying to ask someone from the Hackathon team. So guys, are you there? Hackathon people, hi, are you there? Yes, Yasser Musa. If you want a website to know more about, can you tell me? Okay. Okay, Yasser, I sent you my email. If you can hear me, I will send you more resources if you email me, please. Okay, any other question, guys? Guys, any other question? Okay, we have another question. So let's try to reach to the panelists and see if they can help us with this regard. Thank you, Yasser. Hackathon, can you hear us? Okay, it seems they cannot hear us. Do you have any other question, guys? So guys, I suggest you message the Hackathon 5.0 UAE directly. So, and when they see your message, they will respond to you. Is that okay? Thank you very much, Arwa. And please, if you have any question, here's my email. I'll send it to you. And you can email me and I will try my best to answer you. As soon as I get your email. Have a good day. And please, Abdullah, I cannot understand. Can you participate in the hackathon or can I participate in the hackathon? Okay. Yes, I believe everyone can participate, but we need to ask this question to the host and panelists. So just wait. They will see your question and they will answer it. Okay. And I will email them from my side to make sure that they will answer your question. Okay. Okay, guys, since you have no more questions, thank you very much and have a good day.